Hey, what's up everybody, this is Justin here, and here to review an anime that's kind of out of the ordinary for some people, and that's Akazukin Chacha. Combining Hans Christian Andersen, traditional Japanese fairy tales, and 1990s magical girl anime is this anime. The apprentice is Akazukin Chacha, the main character also. She is the apprentice of the world's greatest magician, Reviee. Despite being his apprentice, Chacha's magic isn't really up to par. Due to certain words sounding the same in Japanese, such as kumo, wanting to summon clouds, she ends up summoning spiders, since both cloud and spider in Japanese is kumo. And also, with the unintentional results ensue. Despite these mishaps, Reviee entrusts her with the power of becoming the magical princess and battling the great demon king. Helping her on her journey are two boys named Ria, a werewolf and Chacha's childhood friend, and there's also Shine, the apprentice of Revii's rival, Dorothy. By combining love, courage, and hope, Chacha would become the magical princess and fight the forces of evil. The series is separated by 3 story arcs. The first arc is mostly used as an introduction and will be rather episodic. Up until episode 25 or so, it just covers the basics. During the middle, the series goes in a specific direction and starts to develop, so it will take some patience in watching the series until the very end if you have those intentions. Even though it will come across as a magical girl anime, the series is heavily comedy driven with puns and how innocent the cast can be at times when facing grave threats. I say a basic understanding of the Japanese language can be useful when trying to get the humor behind it. The side characters such as, who can I say? Such as the main, like the teachers and the principal are all interesting in their own ways. Rascal, the main teacher, may not be an Onizuka Eikichi, but just the way he is and how as someone who can never be a teacher in the real world does add appeal to the humor. And the ditziness of the principal mixed with how much of a sweet old lady she is will keep you laughing. But beyond the humor, the series does have some dark elements, which won't be introduced until 1/3 into it, where the series begins to not have direction and development, but really get into the characters, especially Shine. You finally start to connect with the characters and treasure their relationships, despite their repetitive tensions. I feel it approaches the relationships between children in a more realistic sense when they face no significant dangers. The last third of the series I really would like to get into, but I would have to reveal spoilers from what I understand. I heard elements from that part of the series is more faithful to the original manga, which I've had no exposure to. But it does address some loose ends here and there to some degree. If you are familiar with both Western and Japanese fairy tales, you may fall in love with this series. I like how multicultural the world of Akazukin Chacha is. It may feel like Once Upon a Time in a Kingdom Far, Far Away, but it adds a lot of Japanese elements, and it just balances it out very well to modern children who are exposed to a more globally connected world, but still in touch with old-style customs and traditions. For that, I give the story and characters a 7.5 out of 10. The art and design is appropriately simple and childish as a kid's show, and uses recycled animation just like a good percentage of anime for its time. Still, the series is very colorful, and if you are into fan art and drawing your favorite characters, maybe this is a good series to reference in developing your drawing skills. Granted, the style is generic and trendy, but at least if you saw Chacha on a t-shirt or some merchandise, you will be able to recognize her. I still give the series credit still for being diverse and distinct with the character designs, unlike Moe or Hira Hisashi, where you can't tell the characters apart, or you can't even wonder if it's a boy or girl. That's the worst part. But at times, I do have difficulty trying to wonder how old the characters are. I get the impression they could be anywhere from 6 to 9, but the series later reveals at one point, I think that they are 12 years old, but they don't look 12 to me. Plus, the structure of the school they attend to feels like a kindergarten in Japan, and I just had trouble understanding how the world works in this series, and also gave me the misunderstanding of how old the characters were. But overall, the simple design works not only as a show for kids, but with the comedy as well, and with how lively the children come across. The action isn't too much to write about, and the transformations, the attacks, as I said, before he used recycled animations, which isn't really too distinct from other series of his time like Sailor Moon and Magic Knight Ray Earth. And for that, I give the art and animation a 6 out of 10. The opening song, Kimi iro Omoi, is just awesome, though I prefer the version by SMAP. Unfortunately, the copies that I watched didn't use the SMAP version. I like the jazzy feel to that version, while the one in the series uses, from what I believe in the DVD releases, just doesn't feel too distinct from other generic J-pop, songs. If possible, try to find the SMAP version online. If you don't know who SMAP is, they are a Japanese boy band that has been around for the last 20 years. They actually started in the musical Saint Seiya, and one of its key members, Kimura Takiya, is one of Japan's top actors and was also the voice of Hal in Hal's Moving Castle, and he's also married to another J-pop legend, Kudo Shizuka. And speaking of SMAP for starters, one of the members, Katori Shingo, plays Ria. I thought he did a great job of playing a preteen with how he gets excited over just about almost anything, and also captures some of his animal-like qualities in an innocent sense. The ending songs were also very excellent. My favorite is Chacha ni Omakase, the second ending theme. It just has this energy that captures all the qualities of what defines the series. It's funny and serious at the same time, and I like that. And the performance that surprises me the most was Hidaka Norika, who you may know as the voice of Akane from Ranma or Kikyo from Inuyasha, and she voices Shine. She's just so convincing as the voice of a preteen boy as well. She captures a pitch that just does it. The series is very soundtrack heavy, and the characters will sing a lot, and whenever the character Shine sings, she will sing in a voice that will make you recognize the voice of Akane from Ranma, and I thought that was personally cool for me. And I really love the performance of the principal of the school for some reason. She's this old lady, but yet she's also kind of something of a ditzy San Fernando Valley girl. And she ended up becoming one of my favorite characters, and the performance to the character just captures me. And for that, I give the music and voice acting a 9 out of 10. Personally, I recommend this series for people who have a knack of nostalgia for 1990s anime. I feel if I got into anime more recently, like let's say 5 years ago, I don't really see myself watching it. The first third of the series is slow and feels directionless, and I don't really recommend this to people who don't like to watch anime that are beyond 25 episodes. I know there are people who don't, but I actually don't mind long series most of the time, and if you believe in good things come to those who wait, maybe this might be the right series for you, I don't know. I really liked the story that was given in the middle and how they used the characters and developed them. But in the last third, I felt the series could have been 5 to 10 episodes shorter, since I felt some of those episodes were pointless. But in the end, if you like fairy tales and old school magical girl anime, or just 90s anime in general, just give this a shot. And for that, I give Akazukin Chacha a score of a 7.75 out of 10.